Hi everybody, welcome to the YouTube channel for Ashlin Hadden Insurance. Ashlin Hadden protects your assets. I'm Z, the sales manager here, and I've been here for a couple of years now, and I am just going to make this short and sweet. Today we're going to do a little video about what general liability is and what product liability is and why you guys need it. So it's going to be real basic, real layman terms. Obviously, we know Amazon requires you to have liability insurance, and we know that you want to have it because if you're ever in a lawsuit, you want to make sure you don't have to pay out of pocket. So this is just kind of a little breakdown of what general liability is and what product liability is and why you need to have both, even if you're just reselling as a third-party retailer. So let's go over the basic idea of what general liability is. General liability is going to protect your business operation. So ultimately, it's going to make sure that if you are in a claim because of, on your premises, you're at home or you're in a warehouse, and you're walking around, you're doing your own thing, and somehow, some way, someone slipped and fall. Not an employee of yours though, just in the warehouse, and kind of just they ran into your little area, and for whatever reason, they tripped over one of your boxes. So that's going to make you liable for any kind of medical bills they may have to go through, surgeries, or whatever. So the general liability portion of your insurance policy will make sure to take care of that for you, so you don't have to pay out of pocket. Their medical bills, their whatever income they've lost because they're out of work, all of that kit and caboodle is going to take care of them under your liability insurance, your general liability insurance. So that's kind of one of the examples where it kicks in the best. Ultimately, we're also talking about infringement claims. So let's say you're in a lawsuit now because someone said you copied one of their products, or you said you took their verbiage for one of their one of the ASINs or product lines. You can find yourself in a lawsuit for that. That's going to kick in your general liability. Once again, that's going to make sure that if you are in the lawsuit, whatever payout to that individual is, you have your insurance to cover it. We always try to recommend, if you are in one of these claims, try to take care of it without having to kick in your insurance, because it is going to be filed as a claim loss. But hey, if it just so happens to have to go to your insurance, you got it. And that's what general liability is going to do for you. So now let's talk about product liability. This may come as a no-brainer, but if you're selling a product, you need product liability. Ultimately, even as a reseller, and we're not talking about any private label, any manufacturing, any white label, just selling a product as is. If you take on the responsibility to sell it, you now have a product that you are selling to someone, and you can find yourself in a lawsuit. That's where your product liability comes in, and it kicks in for you. If the lawsuit is derived from a product you sold, your product liability has to cover it. Your general liability policy, your general liability portion of your insurance will not. That's why product liability is so essential to your insurance. It is going to make sure if any lawsuit comes up and it has to do with a product you sold or designed or manufactured, product liability would kick in for you. Ultimately, as a private labeler, when you are in a lawsuit, you're going to be listed as the retailer, and you're going to be listed as the manufacturer on that lawsuit. So we make sure your product liability meets both requirements. Make sure you can, in a lawsuit, if your payout is going to be XYZ dollars for the retailer and XYZ as a manufacturer, product liability kicks in to make sure you're covered. That would be essentially the thing you need the most, right? Because as sellers, that's what you do. You sell a product. So you have to have a product liability in place. We do create our insurance policies with both. So general liability, product liability, which in one kit and caboodle word is called products completed on all of our quotes. So ultimately, if you are a seller and you have business operations and you have a product you're selling, you're going to want both on your insurance. There are cases where some people say, hey, I just want general liability. I just want to make sure, I'm compliant with Amazon. We can do that for you. We can exclude the product liability on your insurance. But what's that for exactly? If all you're requiring for yourself is to make sure your business operations are covered, and you could care less whether someone's in an injury because of a product you sold, then what are you really trying to cover yourself for? Once again, you got to pay the cost to be the boss, right? So sometimes your insurance you're going to pay that money to keep that comfort, to make sure you have everything you need. So general liability, product liability, once again, broken down, general liability is going to take care of your business operations on your premises, or location, warehouse, IP infringement claims, things like that. Your product liability is going to take care of you if you're selling a product that someone happened to get hurt by, or it damages their own property from a consumer standpoint. They use it and it damaged their curtains or whatever. Product liability is what's going to cover that for you. So in a lawsuit, you have everything you need to make sure you don't have to pay out of pocket and lose your business or happen to come up in debt. So that's kind of the little breakdown in the simple terms. If you have any questions about that, or kind of just want to speak on, concerns or, ideas that you think would be better suited for your business operations, always feel free to reach out to me or Ashlin. You can always get in contact with us at our inbox, service@Ashlin Insurance. Don't forget to subscribe to our little YouTube channel. We will be doing videos and kind of just keeping up with the trends of what you guys are selling and making sure you have all the knowledge. And of course, keeping you open to what it is what we do and how we're trying to help you guys. So until next time, thanks again for reaching out, and thanks again for listening to Ashlin Insurance.